Five, four, three, two, one.
Hello guys, welcome to the podcast. Name is Jason from Everything Sample, here with my brother, Jesus, also Everything Nerdy.
Yeah, welcome guys. This is podcast number 6 of our podcast. And in this podcast, we will be discussing a couple things. Halo Infinite, Microsoft's possible new console, 3 new Mortal Kombat characters, VR for Nintendo Switch, new PlayStation update, and EA won't be at E3. So usually how we start this off, we talk about what we've been playing. So I start out with my bro Jason. Any games you've been playing lately you want to highlight?
Taking Bravo.
I've been getting back into
Merc testing B.
Final Fantasy, which one?
14.
Enemies
Oh,
are contesting
14.
Zone B.
It's a very popular online game right now.
Yeah, especially June, everybody's coming back in June, Shadowbringers,
Enemies contesting Bravo.
which is going to be the expansion, another expansion.
We're taking multiple zones.
So yeah, that's been kind of what brought me back, so I've been trying to catch up, get Stormblood done, so I can be ready for Shadowbringers, because I'm kind of excited for it.
What makes you excited for this expansion? I'm not familiar with the Final Fantasy 14.
Well, I've only been playing Final Fantasy for less than a year, and I'm somewhat familiar with the series because Final Fantasy 7 was kind of my favorite Final Fantasy. With the experience, the Shadowbringers coming out, and it's good to see Square Enix actually keeping up with that. You know, they're
Merc forces are contesting
doing
Alpha.
new content,
All zones contested.
new level
Take
updates, new areas to explore. And like they're for Final Fantasy 14, they're always constantly doing stuff too.
Enemies are contesting all zones. Mercs are contesting B.
Like, whether it's expansion, whether it's a patch where there's new potential undertake, but they're always
Hostiles contesting Bravo. We're almost out of lives. MTC
Every
is
how
dry.
often do
Give it
they
all you
do
got.
something to the series? Because it seems like it's been going on for a couple years already.
We're capturing multiple zones.
It's
Good
been
job.
going on since 2013 back on PS3 from my understanding. No, PC also. I guess they started A Realm Reborn back on PS3, and then when PS4 came out, they kind of carried
Enemies are
over
contesting Zone B.
PS4 with Heavensward, and of course 2017 Stormblood, and now 2019
Hostiles contesting
we're
Bravo.
getting Shadowbringers expansion. So it's kind of
Enemies
kind
contesting
of
Bravo.
exciting. Like
We're running out of
it's
lives.
keeping me, it brought, but that quick kind of brought me back
We're capturing Bravo.
to Final Fantasy. Something definitely new.
Hostiles contesting Bravo. We're taking B.
So what is it you've been playing of Final Fantasy 14? The new
Bravo
expansion?
secure.
Right now I'm trying to complete Stormblood. Like I kind of took a break for a while from Final Fantasy 14, but finding out that the expansion's being released, it kind of brought me back, and I'm just kind of finishing Stormblood and being prepared for Shadowbringers, because I haven't really done much in Stormblood, but past few days I've been keeping up with it, doing main scenario quests, catching up to everybody else to be prepared for Shadowbringers.
That sounds very exciting. I wish I was into that game, but I never gave it a shot.
Taking Alpha.
I mean, I'm a fan of Final Fantasy, the franchise, but just too many games to play.
Right. Yeah, I've been kind of taking a break from everything else.
Playing Final Fantasy?
This isn't zero week. Step it up.
Getting ready for the Shadowbringers expansion.
To those that never played the Final Fantasy 14, what are the main things that you could highlight about that game to people that haven't played it?
Definitely worth playing. Like, if you can get into anime, MMO, definitely something to get into. Like, there's a variety of classes, variety of crafting,
Prevent
variety
hostile
of
forces from taking our zone.
there's variety of everything. You think of it, it's there. Nothing being left out. There's variety of everything.
Is it more of an RPG or a massive multiplayer online RPG?
It's a massive multiplayer RPG.
Losing Bravo.
I know there's some, like 15 was kind of an RPG. They kind
We're
of
contesting
dominated
Bravo.
online. Whereas 14, they stuck with the massive multiplayer.
And what is the goal of that
We're defending Bravo.
of the game basically?
We're contesting Alpha. They're taking Bravo.
I should say, what's the final goal? What is the main thing that you gotta accomplish in that game?
Basically, you just once you do MSQ,
Enemy has Bravo.
basically done is you just switch between multiple classes. Like for me, I started with a dragon, but switched to a dark knight. Also have a samurai. Also have a there's a lot of things you can do, like dungeons, raids, farming, crafting, gathering. Like I said, you think of anything, it's there. There's
Wow.
always something there.
We're contesting Alpha.
I definitely want to check that out at some point. I don't know at what point I'll check it out though, because there's just too much taking up my time right now.
You know what to do.
But it sounds really interesting and really fun.
We're contesting A.
Trust me, it is.
Are there any other games you've been playing?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I have gotten Modern Warfare, the remaster. I've played it, I'd say, twice. That's about it. Subscribing it. I've been Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I actually got a chance to play that this week. Modern Warfare, the remaster. And it's a good game. I can see why it's a classic.
Losing Alpha.
But honestly, first-person shooters have come such a long way that it feels kind of empty now. And it doesn't feel as engaging
We're defending A.
as recent first-person shooters, in my opinion. Like, it just feels like a mission or a level, it ends pretty quick. Especially like the first ones.
Enemy has captured all zones.
How do you feel about my thoughts? Do you agree?
I can agree, you know. There's nothing more to be said about first person shooters. It has come a long way.
I mean,
Capture all
what did you
zones.
want to say?
Try to really, I mean, it does bring back a lot of memories playing Modern Warfare Remastered.
mean-
Personally, it just didn't. But even though it does bring back a lot of memories from when the first got released on PS2,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't have, to me, it just doesn't have that same feeling like it used to have.
One thing,
It just kind of faded away from me, if that makes sense.
it's a good game. Definitely, it's a good game.
Enemies are contesting A.
I would even say great, but not at this time. It doesn't hold up
Capturing multiple zones.
to the standards of first-person shooters right now. At least in the single player department. One thing I will say though, it looks really nice. Kind of surprised me how nice it
Enemies
looks.
contesting Bravo.
Even though it's a way older game. I forgot what year it came out.
Hostiles contesting Bravo.
The first time it was released. Do you remember when it came out for the first time?
I think it was back in.
Enemies are contesting Zone B.
Yeah, that's a long
Target's running
time.
on fumes.
Yeah, that was a long
They're
time. Like,
contesting B.
it just doesn't have that same feeling compared to first person.
Enemies contesting Bravo. They're running out of
I mean, it
lives.
looks nice though. Definitely. Like, it really surprised me. Because it looks like
Hostiles contesting A.
a game that would release at this time. It actually looks pretty good. They did a great job with the remaster.
Yeah.
Or definitive edition, or I don't know if it's a remaster. I believe it is. Because I remember hearing there was some changes and music added and little details. So we'll call it a remaster. Yeah, so I enjoyed my time with that. I got up to probably mission 4. I will continue to play it. It just didn't feel like it had enough content, for me at least. The gameplay feels really good though. It feels just like the Call of Duties from now. Like it feels just as good. And another thing I will say after playing it, it made me want badly a new Modern Warfare, bro.
Right. If anything, I did get that feeling. Like I wanna see a Modern Warfare 4. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I was definitely like daydreaming, fantasizing, you could say. as I was playing it, I was like, these set pieces are so amazing that I could just imagine what they'll be able to do with the technology now and the mechanics. And I was just like making up scenarios in my mind that would look so fucking dope in that game if they did another Modern Warfare, which the rumor is this year the next Call of Duty will be a Modern Warfare, which I'm very excited about now.
Finish this.
That's the rumor.
You took this round, but we're not done yet.
It is free for the PlayStation Plus this month, so if anybody want to check it out, definitely check that out, especially if you're a first-person shooter fan. Another game that I've been playing, bro, it's a game called, I believe, Island Paraíso or Paraíso Island, one of those two.
Defend all zones.
You ever heard of this game? Okay, so this game is basically Animal Crossing on the PlayStation 4, and it is a free-to-play game that you could download from the PlayStation 4 right now. It is very charming, and once you start it up, you'll see how inspired it is by Animal Crossing. That is basically Animal Crossing. I didn't get too far with it, but I'm looking forward to see how it opens up. And I actually did do a video of it. It's up on the YouTube channel for everyone to check out. And if you're interested, bro, check out that video and see if it's a game you might want to check out if you're a fan of Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Animal Crossing?
I've heard of it. Never really took
Okay.
time to play it, but I've heard a lot of it.
Oh yeah. Animal Crossing,
It's not like I'm not familiar with the franchise. I mean, it's been there for some time.
yeah, it's very popular.
We're defending Bravo.
Animal Crossing is basically, you play as this cute character. It looks like a kid's game, and you're in this island or small town, And basically your goal is to mess around and do quests for the town NPCs. Also dress up your character, perform duties throughout the day that nobody forces you to. You just do it because it helps you progress. Like you could plant flowers, you could plant fruits, vegetables, you could sell your stuff, you could design shirts and wear them. It's a really interesting, cute game. And if that sounds interesting to you, I definitely would recommend that you check out at least one time Island Paraíso or Paraíso Island. I forget what's the beginning title of that game. And those are like the only 2 games. Plus I've been playing a little bit of Doom. I got a little further, but there's not much to add to that. Just that it gets tougher as you progress. And that's all I've been playing. You have anything to add to this, what we've been playing this week? Topic of the week. Halo Infinite will be at E3. 343 Studios, or 343 Industry boss Benny Ross will discuss the new engine Slipspace and what it's capable of. So basically, we don't know what other capacity Halo Infinite will be at E3 for, but one thing that is confirmed is it will show the new engine that's being used. Have you heard of this engine called Slipspace? Are you familiar with that?
I don't know.
So what do you think they're gonna show at E3, bro? Or what are you hoping they'll show at E3? Because they're definitely gonna be there this E3. We'll start out with, what would you like to see?
E3, I know a lot of people have been, as far as Xbox, it being an Xbox exclusive, that don't usually keep up with Xbox games. I mean, Halo was good at some point, especially 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Some people like 3 as well. But I guess some people say after 3 it was kind of going downhill, so hopefully with them having a new engine, they can bring up the Halo franchise back up to where it was at. You know,
I agree.
A lot of Xbox users' expectation.
I agree with you completely. I've only played very little of Halo 1, very little of Halo 2. I believe the only reason I played it is because when I actually had a computer, I tried out the demos for both of the games and they blew my mind. There's just something about that intro, like the first scenarios in those games, that is nothing like it even to this point, unless my memory is making up imaginative, like, things that happen. But do you remember how it starts off and what feeling it gave you the first time you seen Halo or played a piece of Halo 1 and 2? Do you recall back to that time when you first did you play Halo 1 and 2 at any point?
I have.
Okay, do you remember the feeling it gave you? Like, if you could recall that feeling, what did it make you feel? And what does it make you feel now thinking about it? Because for me, I remember just being blown away by the scenario in front of me when I was playing it.
Come online.
When I was getting into the Halo series back
Yeah.
then, like, I couldn't disagree. Like, I enjoyed everything I liked about it, but the last Halo I played was Halo 3 ODST. It didn't really catch my interest all that much.
We're only as strong as our weakest
The
link.
reason
Not
being
you.
because it just didn't have that same feeling like the other Halos have.
It sounds like you don't really like recall when you play Halo 1 and 2, right? Like you really can't think of what it made you feel or like a thing that you remember. Is that right or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, what I remember very fondly, I don't know if it was Halo 1 or Halo 2. I'm thinking it's Halo 2, but I remember looking down like on a balcony. And as I was looking down, there was a lot of injured bodies. Then I remember I was walking down that path, and I was looking at their interactions of all these people that are crew members that were hurt, and they were being taken care of. Then as I went a little further, there was aliens that looked really cool that were just crash landing. And I just remember how fucking dope that looked, with their shields up, looking like almost like like the Super Mario Brothers turtles. They kind of reminded me of that. And that's what I remember about it. Now, what I would love to see is, like you said, I would love to see them bring it back to Halo 1 and 2. And there is also a rumor that, or I believe it was confirmed, that the new Halo Infinite is gonna be a successor of Halo 1. It's a lot like a reintroduction of the Halo series. And what I would like to see is basically how the open world looks, the graphics they're using, and how they reinvent the Halo series, because it sounds like they're reinventing it, plus they're adding RPG elements, which sounds really exciting. So now I'm gonna move on to topic number 2. There's a rumor that has it that Microsoft will be releasing a diskless Xbox One. Pre-orders are said to be open in April. How do you feel about a diskless console?
Enemy lightning strike inbound.
I think Xbox users.
One tango left. Take him out.
I personally can't say much to that.
Well, just in general, let's just say like a diskless console. It could be Xbox, it could be a Nintendo Switch, it could be the next PlayStation. Like, how do you feel in general about a console with no disc, going all digital? What are your feelings on that?
Some people digital. To be fair, some people enjoy it. Like I go both ways. I enjoy digital and disc. Both are still gonna play the same regardless.
That's true.
Digital though, like
Bomb
I know some
deactivated.
people will make complaints on it, like because it's at the own
down, we're not
license
done
to
yet.
play it, so say if you lose that license, you'll be able to play it. Again, it would be right.
Bless you.
It would be right. But it goes both ways. Some people like
Destroy the
some people
objectives.
like digital. At the end of it, there's no kind of play they say.
We got the bomb.
That is very true. So it sounds like you prefer both, just depending on the situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way as you.
Bomb carrier down.
I prefer to have a disc because I want to. They say you don't really own a disc, you're just renting it. But I feel you own more of a disc than a digital game, because digital, as you've seen with the previous consoles, we don't get to carry what we actually purchase to these consoles, which sucks.
Right.
And they could always take that license away or just not feature it on the next console, and then we're fucking screwed, bro.
Protect the objective.
Right.
So I definitely prefer a disc, but there's certain situations where I like digital. There's games that are only digital, so those I'll definitely, you know, could only buy digital. And there's games like first-person shooters which are better digitally, so you don't have to keep switching discs over and over with the multiplayer online game.
Right.
Or Final Fantasy, for example. Final Fantasy 14. Anything else you want to add to that topic?
Nothing more to be said. I mean, again, it falls down to the preference.
This is
At
it.
the end
Fight
of
like
the day,
you've got up there.
play this.
You're on your own. Bring this
But some
home.
people will just that box and like the discless
The bomb has been
console
planted.
going digital because again, when it's bought digital, like you're owning license to it, you don't own it. It's you just own the license to play it. So at any
Yeah.
time they can take it, which is sad because that's money that is wasted for nothing.
I agree.
The mission's not over. Go again.
That's just a rumor at this point. We'll see what actually happens.
A bonus to whoever frags their last.
But pre-orders are set to be open in April. So Xbox fans, in the comments below, post your thoughts on what you would like to see for Halo Infinite at E3, and also if you would like a discless Microsoft
Bomb acquired.
Xbox One. Now the next thing we have is a release date for a game called Judgment from the Yakuza studio. It is releasing on June 25th
Bomb dropped.
in the West. Those who pre-order can play starting June 21st. And it's by Sega. Are you familiar with the Yakuza series?
Bomb is armed.
I don't know.
I don't know if we discussed this, but basically Yakuza is a semi-open world game, third-person fighting action-adventure game that will remind you of Streets of Rage
You're on your own.
and games of that nature when you're fighting, because you could pick up weapons and items in the environment to fight with. And you also have like nunchucks and swords and what do you call the knuckles? What do you call those knuckles? The knuckle.
Bomb defused.
You know what I'm talking about? The ones that people put on their knuckles, their metal
Coming out your end.
breast knuckles. Yeah, you have things of that nature. And you know what? It's actually, now that I think about it, a lot like Shenmue. Just with a way better fighting system and a more
Protect the
mature
objectives.
story. That's what Yakuza is, pretty much. So it sounds like it will be up your alley, bro.
Definitely not gonna avoid.
And Judgment is basically the first new franchise the studio is developing since they started Yakuza, which we're up to Yakuza like 5, 6, 7, depending on if we're talking about just releases on the West and also in Japan. But there's been a lot of Yakuza games already. So this game is basically, from what I read up on, you play as a judge that is also an executioner, which sounds really interesting. He's a judge that takes it to the streets to do justice and also solve crimes. So that's what that game's about, and it will release June 25th here in the West. If you pre-order, you can play it starting June 21st. I'm looking forward to it. It looks really cool. I'll probably be making a video of it to those not familiar with the game and giving information about it, showing some gameplay, things of that nature. Now, the next topic that we have, 3 new characters have been announced for Mortal Kombat 11. Did you hear about this?
I've been keeping up somewhat with it. I kind of, yeah, I'm kind of hearing about a little bit of it. I know Cassie was supposed to make a comeback.
Yeah, she's one of them, yes.
Jackie Briggs is another return.
Yeah, she's the next one.
Jax is making a return. Sonya's making a return. John Cage is making a return.
Yeah, Jax hasn't been confirmed 100% as of yet, but I believe he was in the new story trailer, maybe?
Maybe.
Like,
yeah.
just for like a glimpse second.
Okay, so Jax, you're not getting harder, so Jax has not been confirmed yet.
Yeah, so Jackie Briggs and Cassie.
You know Johnny Cage and Sonya is making a return.
Yeah.
With Jackie Briggs and Cassie Cage.
Yeah, and the other one that has been confirmed is Aaron Black.
Aaron Black. I was just thinking about that too. Aaron Black was like a perfect character.
Yeah, he looks like a badass. So basically, to those not familiar with these characters, Aaron Black is a gun for hire. He basically works for the people that pay him the highest money, and he works on their side. That's who he is. He's like a badass cowboy, looking like a ninja. Cassie Cage is the future daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, which I think is really cool and cute at the same time. Cause it always looked like they like each other. And then Jackie Briggs is the future daughter of Jax Briggs. He is, I believe, the lieutenant of Sonya Blade. Is that right?
I believe he was a lieutenant. Yes.
She's the boss of Sonya Blade, right?
Jax was a major, which is higher than a lieutenant. Sonya was the lieutenant. Cassie and Johnny Cage is part of their ranking. Still kind of unfamiliar with.
Hardpoint contested.
Yeah, I seen some gameplay of these 3 characters. They look really cool. Also, a new story trailer for Mortal Kombat 11 released this week, and it looks really fucking awesome. That's where you might be able to catch a glimpse of Jax, like my boy Jason said. Now, to end this topic, what other characters would you like to see return in Mortal Kombat 11?
Well, for your getting back Cassie Cage and
Hardpoint locked down.
Jackie Briggs, definitely to go more in depth with it. It would be nice to see Kun Jin and Takeda make a return.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And I believe also in the new trailer they showed Kung Lao. Yeah, for me, I just say bring back all the characters. And for the DLC, just make it the craziest characters that you could come up with. New characters to guest characters that are very unexpected. That's what I would like to see. It seems like they're announcing so many characters before release. Like they announced so many already.
Hardpoint lost. Hardpoint locked down.
So the next topic. Nintendo announces Switch VR headset. But it's not what people might expect. It is actually a Labo kit. And releases April 12th. And it will include new mini games. The kit will be priced at $80 in the US, $40 for the starter kit / blaster kit.
Hardpoint is secure.
What are your thoughts on this, bro?
I could see Nintendo making it happen. I mean, Sony's already done it. Xbox has already done it. I could see Nintendo pulling it off this.
Taking this. Pushing it out.
Do you think this is like a sign that they're gonna announce a real VR headset for next generation? Because it seems like that's the direction they're trying ahead. This is like a hint to me. I take it as a hint.
I agree. It does look like it.
Like maybe they're testing it out to see the interest. Now it just makes me wonder, Nintendo being so innovative and always bringing it to the table, pushing the boundaries of the industry, it makes me wonder how a VR headset would look from them. I know they're gonna innovate and make it even crazier than the ones out there right now, because they really push it. Like every time with their innovations, they always push it where the other consoles are inspired by them. Because it seems like that's the way it goes right now.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
So basically the VR headset is basically made of cardboard, and it gives you a couple mini games, and I don't know how it's gonna look once you have it on, but it's probably gonna look really cool. The pricing seems a bit high, $80, but hopefully it's worth it.
Hardpoint lost.
The next topic of the week, a new PlayStation 4 update has added remote play to iOS and Android. Which means we are finally able to play our PlayStation 4 games on some iPads and some phones.
Hardpoint located.
Now the only thing they didn't add was controller support, but they have the buttons that appear on the screen similar to the app games, which I think is a good trade-off, but I would definitely like to see the controller support. That's definitely very needed. Did you get a chance to check out this update or try it out for yourself?
Just not hearing about this.
Oh, this is news to you right now.
Yeah, I know. I remember we didn't get it.
on reassignment.
And I was actually trying to figure out what what the update was. I'm now finding this out. Yeah, so this is all from
It sounds really cool, right?
It does. I mean, I remember we last talked about they were putting an end to production for PlayStation Vita.
Yeah, in the last podcast we were on together, we discussed that. You know, what were you gonna say?
So that could be a step forward, them putting an end to Vita, allowing pads and mobile devices to be used as controllers. I mean, some people may like the idea, some people may not.
I think, just like how I said about the Nintendo Switch, I feel strongly that this new update is like they're testing out the waters to see if they're gonna add, like how I remember I told you that their next console might even be portable, the PlayStation 5, like portable and also for home. It seems like this is like a major hint that that might be the direction they're heading.
It does sound like a good idea. My personal opinion does sound like a good idea because, you know, future consoles being around the corner, you know, I can see them actually trying something new with this for right now. Maybe it could be a thing for the next generation consoles where, hey, you know, you can link your mobile device to system, you know, remote play with your mobile devices and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely something new. Definitely worth checking out. I mean, personally, I'm gonna probably check it out too.
Oh, I'm gonna check it out too for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And do you think that this is probably the easy way out they're gonna do it, possibly? Instead of actually going full out and making it PlayStation 5 portable, maybe this is just like testing it out and just keeping it this way for the PlayStation 5 also. I mean, we'll find out next generation, but it could go either way though, for both. The next thing for this week, there's a new release date for a newly announced game from 3D Realms, the creators of Duke Nukem. They have announced a new game titled Iron Maiden, or Wrath Iron Maiden. It's developed to look like a 90s throwback game.
Enemies are contesting Zone B.
It's an action horror game. It's a first-person shooter action horror game. You play a mysterious outlander who's lost in ruins of an old world. It will have 3 chapters with 5 levels each, and will release on PC first. Also coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, the Switch sometime later in 2020. Have you seen the trailer to this game? It looks crazy, man.
Capturing A.
It does look crazy.
You have seen it though?
Sure no, but by the sound of it,
Capturing multiple zones.
it does sound pretty crazy.
Right.
But also exciting at the same time.
Bro, I definitely suggest you check out the trailer to it. It's called, what did I say, Wrath Iron Maiden? Something like that. Definitely check out the trailer. It looks straight up like a Quake Duke Nukem game graphically. It looks like a full throwback. It looks like it was made in the past, just with modern actions and modern mechanics. It looks really, really fucking cool. The last topic of this week is EA won't be having a press conference at E3 this year, but we'll be running multiple streams showing the games announced.
We're capturing Alpha. Third forces are contesting Alpha.
How do you feel about this, and are you happy about this?
Exercise caution.
It's kind of odd that they're not making appearance at E3. But maybe it could be for good. I mean,
In what way?
maybe it might be something, a new big game that they can everybody focus on. It could be for the good, it could be for the bad. But for them to not make an appearance at E3 this year,
Enemies contesting Alpha.
it's kind of random. So
Time's almost up. Make that push.
We'll see what they do.
Hostiles contesting.
I feel like E3 is changing a lot. We won't have Sony at E3 this year. We won't have EA at this E3. And somebody else, I forgot who else, is not going to be at E3. But it seems like an interesting route to take. That sounds similar to Nintendo's approach, where they're just making like a separate, you know, a separate stream showing off their content so they could get all eyes on them, basically, instead of getting lost in the shuffle. I mean, for me, I feel like EA has been dropping the ball lately. They haven't really released anything that's noteworthy or that got high ratings, loved by the public. They really don't have a lot to offer that's top notch besides the sports games at this moment. I mean, they tried with Battlefield, they tried with Star Wars, they tried with Anthem, and it seems like they just haven't been hitting it out the park lately. But I'm still looking forward to what they have, and I'm just hoping they bring EA Big back. That would make EA great in my eyes if they do that. They need to bring back the EA Big. Bring back NBA Street, XXX, Def Jam Vendetta, all of that.
We're defending Bravo.
Are there any topics you would like to discuss this week that I didn't discuss?
We're defending A. We're defending Alpha.
Really nothing in mind. We pretty much covered a lot this week.
Bravo
As
lost.
far as what's been going on the past week.
There's one thing I do want to discuss with you. Since you weren't able to participate the last podcast, I wanted to ask you about the Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. If you check out the new update.
Going back to that, yes.
We're defending A.
The update.
Losing Alpha.
I mean, it got a lot of people hyped, but a lot of people also, hey, new weapons, new clothes, new content. And the biggest failure Rockstar could have made is that they were putting bits and pieces out there, little at a time. So, when they released the update, we first got the shotgun and clothing,
We're defending Alpha.
the red shotgun, and new clothing. My biggest letdown was like, you know, where's the rifle? The repeater that was promised to us. They weren't there. A week later, they had brought that out. Whereas was the
We're running low on lives.
Showdown series mission they were gonna release.
They're low on lives.
Released
You know what to
until
do.
like They got everyone hyped up for the update, but the biggest letdown they could have done is putting it out there in bits and pieces. And another thing they had done was the bounty system. I believe the bounty system was rather another big letdown because I'm gonna just assume that it was meant to stop people that are just haunting him.
Defending A.
I can get that.
So did the update didn't live up to the expectation, seems like?
Yeah, pretty much. It didn't live up to it was rather more of a letdown rather than something looking forward to. So in all fairness, the update just kind of...
The enemy is out of lives.
Will you still be making a video about it, or it wasn't really worth making a video for?
I was, but after checking it out for myself, it was like, it was nothing for me to even work with. It was just nothing to even put up there, because with it being such a big letdown, it's like, you know, I can't do nothing.
So there wasn't enough to really make a video about? Like, there's not a lot of content, a lot of things you were expecting?
Enemy details down to 1.
Gotcha.
Finish this. Losing Alpha.
I mean, I was hyped for the update, you know, we were
Yeah, I remember.
Stuff. But as the update came, it was like, oh, it's just gonna be
Do it again and we get to go
bits
home.
and pieces that they're just gonna be putting it out. And it's like, wow, so it was kind of like a big blow to the face, you know. Everyone's so hyped, new stuff coming, and then finding out that it's just gonna be weekly. Wow.
Wow,
Capture all zones.
yeah, it doesn't sound like they brought it like they were supposed to.
Right. Exactly. Like they didn't bring it like a lot of people would have thought.
I mean, you were so excited for it to make the video. I thought it was gonna be like a huge video with so much to talk about, to show, and it sounds like it's not.
Enemies contesting Bravo.
Right.
Enemies contesting Alpha.
Damn, this is disappointing, man.
Enemies are contesting
Very
Zone B.
disappointing.
I mean, but I'm sure they'll get there.
Capturing
It
A.
takes time.
Right.
So we're gonna close out this podcast number 6. Where can people follow you, bro?
You find me on the giant YouTube. Find me on Assemble Nerdy. Nerdy Gamer Flesh. Everything Nerdy Group Chat. YouTube, the giant YT. Also, you can find me on PlayStation at Stud-420-.
Okay, and you can find me on the PlayStation. I'm Illnoise36. I'm Gamer Flesh Everything Nerdy. That's my Facebook group, which Jason is a part of also. And also on this YouTube channel, Everything Nerdy Assemble. Are you working on anything that people could expect for next week?
We're capturing Bravo.
Nothing in particular, but if anything does come to mind, I will let that be known.
Okay. Yes, for me, expect some Shenmue 1 and 2 videos, more Paraíso Island. I'm gonna check out The Witness, which is free on the PlayStation Plus. Make a video of that. Of course, the new game releases that I post every week. This podcast video, which will go up either today or tomorrow. And I still want to check out the Dead or Alive 6. I don't know if it's up there to download, but if it is, I won't be making a video of that. And 2 other demos. And there's just a lot of content that I'll be working on. If anything interesting pop up during the week, expect me to make a video and highlight it and give information about it. So expect a lot of content from me. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to all the subscribers. Thanks for all the likes, the comments, the support. We love you all, and we really appreciate it.
Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night, guys. We're out. Peace.